Hey guys, and welcome to It's All About the Noise. And welcome back to episode 3 of Beyond the Noise. This is where we talk about sport, how it changes lives, and how it influences careers. Today's special guest is a former professional footballer. He made over 600 career appearances, scoring 46 goals. He played in League One, League Two, and the National League. Won promotions, won championships, and suffered playoff heartbreak. Check out the video, and I will see you in the interview. Okay, guys, so as you saw from the video, it is former professional player Mike Jones. Mike, thank you for joining us. Mike, we want to take it back to the early years. This is all about how sport influences lives. So take us back to when you first got into sport and what you were doing.
Seems a lifetime ago now. Obviously, starting off at Tranmere, yes, when I was a kid, lived just around the corner. And it was all I ever wanted to be, really. All I ever wanted to be was a footballer. So I literally dedicated all my teenage years to trying to achieve what I wanted to, and that was at Tranmere. And luckily, obviously, got the opportunity.
Wow. And so how old were you when you made that decision that you thought, you know what, this is the life for me?
I don't know, it's just probably school. Everyone grows up, don't they, in football in this country? I think it's obsessed.
Wanting to be a footballer.
Yeah, everyone just wants to be a footballer, and I was no different. And I just had a real hunger and desire to make that happen. I didn't see anything else. You know, my old fella had still has a car garage, so he's a mechanic, and he used to have me in on the odd Saturdays, and I was like, whoa, I need to be a footballer, because I am not pressing foot brake and right indicator, left indicator for the rest of my life.
You didn't think that was for you, no?
No, I just couldn't envisage that kind of line of work, so I just made sure I was a footballer.
Yeah. Did you get any early signs from when you were a young age that you were going to make it?
Yeah, I think obviously, it's like my lad now, even at 8, everyone, when you've got a bit of ability, you've got a bit, but to make it in football, you need an awful lot more. And I was always quite physically weak when I was much younger. There was nothing of me. So, especially in England, like even nowadays, the game's so physical. Everyone's going to be so fit, so strong. So I was always I was behind in that department, very much so. But
did you ever get overlooked because of that at any team?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, for sure, yeah. And even at Tranmere, it was hard. They wouldn't put you up at age because they probably thought you wouldn't physically be able to cope and stuff. There was nothing of me, honestly. There was nothing of me. But, time and time again, coaches would tell me, and I knew I had the ability, but it was putting all the other things with it, you know what I mean? And that took time.
And when did that mentality come in? Did you have that from a young age?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that was instilled in me from my old fella, do you know what I mean? My dad's had a car garage now 40 odd 50 years, do you know what I mean? And he's the biggest grafter I've ever met in my life.
So it sounds like your dad was a huge inspiration on that side.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
What about in the football world growing up?
I used to love like the R9, like the old Ronaldo, man.
Okay.
He was the man when I love the Ronaldo now, but R9 was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I always kind of wanted to be a striker, but it was kind of, like I say, being a bit physically weak, I always ended up kind of on the wing.
Is that where you started then? Because obviously you made your career as a central midfielder.
Yeah, I think I always wanted to be more central up front or in centre mid, but being a bit physically not as strong as the others, you'd end up on the wing because that was kind of out of the mix a bit, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I loved Gerrard growing up, which is weird because I absolutely hate Liverpool. But Steven Gerrard was unbelievable midfield player. Zidane. Yeah, and R9s, players like that.
Amazing. Did you have a team growing up? Did you go and watch a team?
Weirdly, I used to support Blackburn. Don't ask me why. It was so strange. My whole family are Evertonians and still are. And I used to go to Everton games, but I've always been a bit like to be different. And,
of course,
for some daft reason.
Were there any players at Blackburn that caught your eye?
Shearer it was. I used to love Alan Shearer, yeah.
Amazing.
Obviously they won the league and all that, and then everyone said I'll stop supporting them after that. But no, really, I just had a thing for Alan Shearer, had a thing for Blackburn, and fair play to me, Alpha. He used to take me up and down the country to watch Blackburn.
Wow.
When obviously it it could have been much easier just to go to Everton games with my brothers and him and stuff. So he was taking me to Blackburn games, and he was taking me to games that I had for Tranmere, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I look back and I think, fair play.
The miles he put in.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Tranmere. That's where you ended up. How old were you when you first went to Tranmere?
Must have been young, man. Must have been 8, 9, 10 when I first.
So you stayed there all the way through.
They used to call it School of Excellence.
School of Excellence, YTS, was it?
YTS, yeah. And luckily for me, this was a big part of me making it, really, because at Tranmere, most players now, they do a 2-year YT and then go straight into the pros. But at the time, it was, you had a 2-year scholarship, but then there was an option of a third year.
Right.
So you actually got like a third year YT before you moved into the pros. And that was a big year. And that was a big year for me, where I physically come on a lot in that year. And I think without that year, I don't think I would have made the grade. So
in that third year then, when did you know that you were going to be offered a pro contract? Was it right at the end?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was Ronnie Moore at the time, who was like the manager at Tranmere, who he wasn't a massive fan of young lads, I wouldn't say. Okay. But yeah, it was actually Brian Little and Jason McAteer who gave me my first team debut, and they loved me.
How old would you have been then? Testing you now, yeah?
Oh, yeah, it must have been like 18 okay. Maybe, when I played the last game of the season against Doncaster. We got beat at home at Prenton Park. But maybe debut, got man of the match, and I was buzzing. I was just like, wow.
What do you remember about the build-up to that game? Because it must be a huge memory for you.
Yeah, nervous, man. Yeah, I don't remember like an awful lot, but you're an 18-year-old kid, and it's all you've wanted to do, but there's a lot of nerves that comes with it.
Did you know beforehand?
Yeah, and yours playing and stuff. It was McAteer, Jason McAteer got the job. I think Brian Little just got sacked, I think.
Okay.
And Jason, and he loved me, Jason. He was brilliant with me. And he was like, you're playing. I was like, oh,
where did you start? Winger? Centre mid?
Winger, yeah. I played all right. I'm sure we got beat 2-0 by Doncaster. Okay. I remember it, yeah. But and that was like, wow.
But the debut, fantastic. You'd done
amazing.
It. And then you went on loan. You went to Shrewsbury on loan.
Yeah.
Scored your first goal.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
A header. I don't know how I scored a header. I think that was the only header I've scored. I don't know, actually. Was it the only header I've scored in my career? I don't know. But yeah, I went to Shrewsbury on loan. I was a little bit in and out Tranmere, and there was a few clubs like interested in on loan, a couple of Scottish clubs, and a little bit like that. And then Shrewsbury come up, and I think it was John McMahon, my old coach from there, was there. One of the best coaches I've still had to this day. I don't know when I started on the bench linking away, and I come on at half time. And about 15 minutes later, I just nicked one in front post. I went away touching my name on my back, which is still a bit embarrassing to this day. But it was all right. It was quite short-lived, the spell at Shrewsbury, but it brought my first goal, and it was a bit more experience in the league and stuff. So. And
then went back to Tranmere, played a few more games, but then you got a bit of a move to Bury.
Yeah, well, I didn't even get a move to Bury. I got let go from Tranmere. Okay. I think my old fella still has a quote in his garage of what Ronnie Moore say. This is Tranmere Rovers, not Real Madrid. We've got no time for champagne players. So,
wow. You were classed as a champagne player?
Well, yeah. I
compliment, really.
Well, if anyone's seen me play the last God knows how many years, I'm far from a champagne player. I didn't kick it now. But I was always quite flirty player. I was always quite like a silky player on the wing. I never really had the pace, but I'd have a trick or two.
And an eye for goal as well, 46 career goals.
Yeah, it could have been a lot more, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, so I had to go on trial to Bury. Okay. So I got a trial, and it was Alan Hill and Chris Wilder.
Wow.
Funny enough. Okay. And Alan Hill was the manager and Wilder was the assistant. And he took to me straight away. Went on trial, really done well on the trial, and he took to me and offered me something. Obviously signed it, moved to Manchester, and this was the start of living in Manchester.
Right, okay.
Which just become home to me, do you know what I mean? Loved it. And yeah, I played 46 games, played every game, pretty much every minute of my first season. And then that was me then, I was established. You know?
Yeah, did you feel like a professional then?
Yeah.
Because I guess it takes that season where you do play over 30 games.
Yeah, I think that first year was probably still one of the most enjoyable seasons of my whole career.
Why was that?
Young lad living in Manchester. I knew I was a professional footballer. I was playing every week. I was playing Saturday, Tuesday. We were out every week.
Yeah.
We were living that like Manchester life. Casinos on a Tuesday night after the games. Saturday straight to like the most popular bar, bang, food. Yeah. But Effie Sodji was there with us at the time. Wow. He basically ran Manchester, so we were just boxed off everywhere we went, and made the best friends there, had the best time. And then in the end, obviously, I was there for quite a few years, and
I think that's what sport does, doesn't it? It creates friendships as well. I talk about it as it can be a career, it changes lives, but also the friendships you get out of it as well. I'm guessing you're still friends with those people now.
Yeah. You would love to see them more often. A lot of them, you still keep on contact a little bit on social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you at the end of the day, you go into battle with them every Saturday afternoon or Tuesday night, and you in football, you're with each other a lot. You spend a lot of time with each other in the dressing room and stuff, and not everyone's going to like each other and be the same personalities. But yeah, we had some good times there. We had some good times, and obviously we end up getting promoted and stuff.
Well, I was going to say, before the promotion, we had a playoff. Is it in the second season you got to the playoffs?
Yeah, we got.
Unfortunately, talk to us about that.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. We got beat against Shrewsbury, who we finished loads of points ahead of them, and we played them away first leg. I remember it was 0-0, and we kind of battered them there, and then we come back to Bury,
and you think,
and we absolutely battered them again, and we just couldn't score. I remember Andy Bishop, one of the best lads and best players I've played, especially finishers. His finishing was ridiculous, and he just couldn't put it in for us on that day. I remember,
Did they nick one, or
it went to penalties? 0-0 and 0-0, and went all the way to penalties, and they beat us.
Did you take one?
I think I did. I scored. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Yeah. But we got beat, and it was like, it was devastating because we finished so far ahead of them.
Yeah.
I think we knew ourselves we were so much better than them. And then I can't remember if they won or lost at Wembley. Can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
No, but we weren't there, so that was. But obviously, we put it right.
The season after. Did that come into it throughout the season, or did you just blank it out, losing in that play? Did it spur you on, or did you want to just forget it?
Spurs you 1,000,000%. Obviously, we'll talk about Chesterfield probably a bit later on, but any playoff defeat, any setback, anyone saying no to you, spurs you on. It certainly did for me my whole career. If I had a bit of a bad time or an injury or a playoff defeat, a bad game, I'd be back, and it would eat away at me until I put it right.
Amazing. And that season when you did get promotion, talk to us about how Chesterfield played a part in that.
Yeah, no, it's mad when you look back in it. Yeah, so we actually got promoted. We played Chesterfield at Chesterfield with 2 games. It was the second to last game of the season, and we won there, and we were promoted. But obviously, then it was still the title was still up to see who finished first and second. We were done, no man. We got promoted that day at Chesterfield,
and that was it.
Unbelievable. We were out all weekend. So we played Wickham the following Saturday, and I think we were out till about Thursday. It was only like Thursday.
You hear those stories,
and it was, and we just had no interest. We could have won the league.
Any regrets on that though?
I don't know. It's so hard when you know
that you're already up.
As you see, well, again, most people on Chesterfield a bit. But when we got promoted so early in the National League, it's very hard to keep on going when you know the job's done.
I guess the end goal is X, and you've already done it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You